Every life tells a story, one that moves from laughter and learning to quiet reflection. Over time, the body begins to speak in softer ways, small changes in appetite, sleep, energy, or engagement that hint something deeper is happening. These quiet warnings sometimes appear months, even up to a year, before the final stage. This video isn't here to frighten you, it's here to help you listen. Recognizing early signs gives families the gift of preparation, time to say important things, make care choices, and fill remaining moments with comfort, dignity, and honest love. Notice that early awareness doesn't demand action beyond compassion. It simply allows space to breathe, to decide, and to be present. Whether you're a partner, child, grandchild, or friend, learning to notice these shifts can change how those last chapters are lived, with patience, respect, and intention. If you're ready, let's walk through 5 quietly powerful signs and how to respond with heart. Sign 1. Physical decline and fatigue. One of the earliest signals is steady physical decline. Energy drops, muscles weaken, and simple tasks become harder. You may notice more naps, shorter walks, slower gait, or difficulty standing from a chair. Medical experts name muscle loss, sarcopenia, and link it to reduced cardiac output and metabolic slowdown. Appetite often fades, producing unintentional weight loss that's not good, but a biological sign of a body conserving energy. Families frequently respond by pushing food or exercise, sometimes helpful, sometimes harmful. At advanced stages, forcing activity or high calories may only cause stress. Instead, prioritize gentle movement, safe transfers, soft nutrition, and pacing. Celebrate small wins, a short walk, a morning wash, a shared meal, and trade rigid goals for comfort, focused routines. Document changes, speak to your doctor about physical therapy and palliative options, and remember, fatigue at this level is a call for presence, not punishment. Sign 2. Emotional withdrawal and inner turning. As aging advances into its quietest years, one of the most tender shifts you might notice is emotional withdrawal. This isn't the sadness of depression or the coldness of rejection, it's something far deeper and more natural. The elderly person may seem quieter, less talkative, and less involved in daily events. They may stop following the news or lose interest in hobbies that once defined them. What's happening here isn't necessarily despair. It's an inward turning, a subtle emotional detachment that psychologists describe as life review and release. The human spirit, when it senses time narrowing, often begins to reflect more and interact less. Memories rise like soft waves. Childhood scenes, old friendships, loves gained and lost. Caregivers sometimes interpret this as disinterest or ingratitude, but in truth, it's often an act of peace. The mind and soul are simplifying, letting go of external noise to prepare for a quieter existence. This process can appear slow or sudden. Some days, your loved one might chat vividly, and other days, they may simply sit in silence by the window, watching the light fade. The best response isn't to force conversation but to accompany the silence. Bring presence, not pressure. Read aloud softly, play a favorite melody, or sit together without needing to fill the air. Ask gentle questions like, "What memories bring you peace?" or "What was your happiest place?" But if they prefer silence, respect it. Silence can be sacred at this stage. Compassion means giving them the freedom to drift between memory and presence. The goal is not to pull them back into the world, but to walk beside them as they prepare to leave it. Your calm energy and steady love will be remembered long after words are gone. Sign 3. Cognitive and memory shifts. As the body slows, The brain follows. In the final year of life, many elderly people experience subtle or progressive cognitive changes. These can include short-term memory loss, mild confusion, or occasional disorientation, forgetting the date, the time, or even who visited recently. This may seem distressing, but it's often part of a natural process. The brain, like the heart and muscles, begins to conserve energy. Blood flow and oxygen delivery decrease, and neurons transmit more slowly. This doesn't mean the person is gone. It means their awareness is shifting rhythmically between the present and the past. You might also notice vivid dreams or conversations with people who have long since passed away. Hospice nurses and palliative experts often call this visioning. These experiences aren't necessarily hallucinations, but meaningful encounters that seem to bring comfort to the person experiencing them. If your loved one speaks about seeing someone who's gone, resist the urge to correct or dismiss it. Instead, listen kindly. You could say, "That sounds peaceful," or "Tell me more about who you saw." These gentle responses validate their reality and bring emotional safety. Sudden clarity may also appear. A day or two where their speech sharpens, they remember details, and they seem almost like their younger self again. Many families call this the rally. It's not a sign of recovery, but a beautiful final gift. A brief moment of lucidity allowing goodbyes and gratitude. During cognitive changes, focus on creating structure. Keep lighting consistent, rooms familiar, and routines predictable. Familiar music, photographs, and scents provide grounding. Speak slowly and simply. Never test their memory or correct harshly. Kind tone matters more than accuracy. Above all, remember that cognitive decline isn't a loss of self, it's an evolution. Beneath the fog, the essence of who they are still exists. The warmth of your voice, your patience, and your love reach deeper than any words can. Sign 4. Frequent illness and slower recovery. Another significant indicator that an elderly person may be entering their final year is recurrent illness and prolonged recovery from even mild ailments. The body, after decades of resilience, begins to lose its ability to repair and defend itself. The immune system weakens, skin thins, and muscles lose strength. You might notice colds that linger for weeks, infections that return, or wounds that heal painfully, slowly. Hospital stays may become more common, and recovery times longer each time. Doctors call this frailty syndrome, where every illness leaves the person a little weaker than before. This doesn't mean hope is lost. It means that the body is asking for a new kind of care, one that values comfort and quality of life over aggressive interventions. When an 85-year-old develops pneumonia, for example, antibiotics might still help, but the focus should be equally on ease, hydration, warmth, nutrition, and emotional peace. Loved ones often struggle here, torn between wanting to fight and wanting to let go. The truth lies in understanding that care and cure are not always the same. Sometimes, stepping back from invasive treatments is not giving up. It's choosing peace over pain. Conversations with healthcare providers are vital in this stage. Ask honestly, what outcomes are realistic? Will this treatment improve comfort or just extend struggle? These questions guide decisions based on compassion, not fear. Daily routines also matter, ensuring soft, high-protein foods for energy, encouraging gentle stretching to prevent stiffness, and maintaining skin care to avoid sores. Keep bedding fresh, hydration steady, and visits calm. Avoid overstimulation. Quiet days can bring more healing than busy ones. Above all, speak openly with your loved one. Ask them what they want. You might hear something simple like, "I just want to be home," or "I don't want to go back to the hospital." These words matter deeply. Listen, and honor them when you can. This stage reminds us that life's final year isn't about measuring decline, but about measuring presence. It's not about how fast the body fades, but how gently we help it do so. Sign 5. Changes in breathing, sleep, and awareness. As an elderly person nears the closing chapters of life, you may begin to notice changes in their breathing, sleep, and overall awareness. These are some of the most delicate and visible signs, and though they can be unsettling for loved ones, they are often peaceful processes for the person experiencing them. Breathing may shift from smooth and steady to irregular or shallow. You might observe long pauses between breaths, followed by deep sighs, a rhythm known as Cheyne-Stokes respiration. This happens as the brain's control over breathing becomes less consistent. Though it may sound unusual, it rarely causes pain or distress. It's simply the body's way of conserving energy and preparing for rest. Sleep becomes longer and deeper. The person may spend most of their time dozing or unresponsive, with brief periods of waking. Their world begins to shrink inward, focusing less on external reality and more on internal peace. Some might appear to be in a dreamlike state, half awake, half elsewhere. Other changes may appear: skin that feels cooler, hands or feet that turn slightly bluish, or a faint, sweet scent on the breath. The digestive system slows down, so food and water are needed less often. Trying to force eating or drinking at this stage can cause discomfort, so instead, focus on comfort and moisture. A damp sponge to the lips, a few drops of water, or simply holding their hand. Many families notice a subtle stillness, a quiet that fills the room. The elderly person might no longer speak, but can still hear and feel. Even in the final hours, the senses of hearing and touch are often the last to fade. Speak softly, say loving words, and remind them that they're safe, loved, and not alone. Avoid loud noises, bright lights, or frantic activity. The best environment is one of softness and calm, gentle lighting, peaceful music, familiar scents, and slow, rhythmic breathing from those around them. If secretions cause a rattling sound in the throat, know that it's not usually painful. Tilt the person slightly to one side, use a humidifier if possible, and keep the mouth moist. Medical teams can provide medications to reduce this if needed. This stage can last hours or days. Families often describe it as both heartbreaking and holy, a sacred transition. The human body, after decades of movement, begins to slow, settle, and finally rest. It's not giving up. It's returning to stillness, the same stillness from which we all begin. If you've recognized these signs in someone you love, take a deep breath. You are not powerless, you are present. And presence is the greatest medicine of all. Whether your loved one has months or days left, every moment shared now carries extraordinary meaning. What they need most isn't perfection. It's your calm presence, gentle hands, and genuine words. Sit beside them, hold their hand, tell them they are loved, forgive where you can, and ask for forgiveness where you need to. These exchanges carry immense healing power for both of you. End of. Life care isn't about extending time. It's about deepening the quality of the time that remains. Talk with doctors about hospice or palliative care. These services don't mean giving up. They mean embracing comfort, dignity, and holistic support. They focus on relieving pain, easing breath, and ensuring emotional and spiritual peace. Create moments that soothe the senses. Read their favorite poems, play soft instrumental music, or open a window so sunlight or fresh air can enter the room. Sometimes, the simplest gestures become the most profound memories. Many families notice a moment of quiet clarity, a final smile, a whispered word, a glance that feels like goodbye. If that moment comes, receive it with gratitude. It's often their way of saying, "Thank you, I'm ready. You can let me go." Afterward, grief may come in waves, but so does peace. Remember that your care, your voice, and your love have already written the most important chapter, one of compassion. When someone we love passes, they leave behind more than absence. They leave lessons about patience, humility, resilience, and the beauty of impermanence. These lessons become part of you, shaping how you live, how you love, and how you care for others. At Healing Age, we believe that death is not an ending, but a transformation, a quiet turning of the page. The person may no longer walk beside you, but their influence, their stories, and their laughter echo on. In every small kindness you show to others, a part of them lives again. Take this time to honor their memory, not through sorrow, but through gratitude. Gratitude that you had the chance to love, to care, to witness a life from beginning to end. Gratitude that you were trusted to walk with them through the most sacred passage of all. As you move forward, know that you carry their spirit within you. Continue to tell their stories, pass on their wisdom, and live gently, just as they would have wanted. And if this message has offered clarity, comfort, or peace, we invite you to join our community here at Healing Age. Like, share, and subscribe for more reflections on aging, purpose, and the timeless grace of letting go. Because in understanding death, we learn to honor life more deeply, more consciously, and with more love than before. Next time, we'll explore how centenarians build mental resilience and the daily mind habits that slow cognitive aging faster than any supplement. Stay curious. Stay alive. This video is for informational and educational purposes only. It is not professional medical advice. Always consult a qualified healthcare provider before making changes to your diet, medication, or lifestyle.